Robert, and we had a date with Hugo. I forgot who we hung out with. I'm going with Damien this time because those are the ones I kind of think I remember the least, but I also don't want to try to remember. But I also painted my nails black. Not for this. I was talking to my sibling yesterday, and we were like ranting about stuff, and I was like painting my nails because it was like 3 in the morning, and I decided to do that. So here we go. I also had to look up how to spell Damien because okay. It was loading, but his circle was just a little bit to the left. I was like, what's going on? Okay. Hey, buddy. So I have a favor to ask. Oh, I have to click here. Robert invited me over for dinner, and I know it's kind of a false. Sorry. I would like my headphones not to make that noise. I think it's just the way it's plugged in. Oh, it fixed it. And then my phone buzzed at the same time. Anyways, I know it's kind of a false pass to invite another bro, but I've known the guy for years, and I still can't get a good read on him. And I know it's going to be super awkward if I go by myself. Will you please come with me? I love food. Yeah, I went in for allergy shots like I do all the time. And I was getting my shots, and the person was like, "How was your 4th?" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "How was your 4th of July?" And I was like, "Oh, 4th of July, right. We don't really do anything." And she goes, "But you gotta love the food." And I was like, "We didn't do anything. I didn't get any food." So I was like, yeah. Anyways, it was this lady is the opposite of everything I am. And it's great because I have to talk to her very frequently, but just for little sections. But I have to, because I don't want to die, I wait to make sure I don't have a reaction. And so I'll just she talks and is completely different than me. So we both, obviously she's working and I'm being friendly because she's working, and she's my nurse, and that's what you do. But she one time previously during the pandemic, though, for my birthday, she was like, "Oh, it's your birthday," and I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I was thinking there's this really big arcade, but it's not very close to us, but we might go, but we don't know." And she goes, "Oh, I just got super drunk." And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Yeah, you could do that." And I was like, "Yeah, but I already said that it was far away in COVID." So I was like, "Oh, but I don't know." She goes, "Well, you could drink at home." And I was like, "Okay, I guess, yeah." So it was very funny that we were very, very different people. But anyway, so I just agreed with her, like, yeah, food. Like, yay. But I'm like, I didn't even have any. Didn't have any 4th of July food. Anyways, I especially love food that's free. Yeah, I mean, it's true. And I don't know why, we're so sweaty over cooking for sure. But sure, you're so sweaty over cooking, but sure. Super awkward. Invited me over for dinner. So Robert's cooking. Okay, it's not cooking. Yeah, dude, I'm down. Thank you. Okay, this is new. This isn't new, though. This one's new. Maybe. No. I honestly, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember this at all. Anyways, so we hung out with now Craig, Robert, and we didn't hang out with Matt yet. So I wonder if that means we're gonna hang out with Matt. Then the next day cycle. I really hope that's a sweat of relief. Fair, I guess. Fair. I don't use emojis very often. That doesn't sound too bad. I could definitely go for free food. But why is Craig being so apprehensive? Does he know something about Robert that I don't? I hurry up and reply before my dad brain could work itself into a paranoia spiral. Yeah, dude, I'm down. Thank you. Craig and I decide to meet up before heading over to Robert's place. Is it based on who you hang out with? You know? Like, is it different? Or is it always the same? I don't know. I don't know and I don't remember. And also I don't know if it changed. Craig's waiting on my porch, a bottle of white wine in hand. Ben, bro, am I glad to see you? Yes, you are. Because I was going to make it a saying. Boy, am I glad to see you. Likewise, man, classy of you to bring wine. Oh, it's not wine. It's sparkling apple cider. Robert literally has a wine cellar. Oh, he does. Yeah, cool. Robert literally has a wine cellar, so I think he's good. Wow. Or at least I think he has a wine cellar. I'm genuinely unsure if he was telling the truth or not. I can never tell with him. Thank God it's not just me. I never know. Yeah, I watched one guy, but they don't have like a face cam. They just do audio. And there's like two people, and one of them I could never tell if he's joking or not. And he's all like, "No, trust me. Don't you trust me?" And I was like, "Don't trust him." And no, he was telling the truth, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like I can't. He's so deadpan about everything. I usually get a laugh. I usually just laugh it off, but man, that guy's an enigma. We start walking over to Robert's house. Does Robert even know how to cook? I have sincere doubts about whether he even knows how to. Okay, that's just rude. I mean, unless he's really like patchy face, but like stubble. I have sincere doubts of whether he even knows how to shave properly or iron his shirts. I feel like you learn to cook after you learn those two first. No, I mean, I learned to cook before I even had a shave, so, like, I learned to cook when I was a child, so, I also learned how to iron when I was a child, so, I also never iron. It's my mother's most pet peeve about me. Well, I think so, at least. God, I don't want to get into that. But yeah, she always like, it would be better if you iron it. And I was like, yeah, it's like, yeah, but I don't wear like things super. Yeah, I do. I was gonna lie. Yeah, I probably do. A lot of things are probably super wrinkled. If it's a good thing, I'll wear it as is. But anyways. One time, I saw him grab a hot dog from a trash can. I mean, it was at the very top of the trash can, like sitting above it, but still, if you if you were on trial, I think the jury would would define that as in the trash. But I guess it doesn't say about him. However, in his defense, I definitely considered grabbing food from the top of the trash before. I have never considered actually grabbing food from a trash can. No. Well, yeah. I think we've all considered it, but the difference is that Robert actually did it. True. Maybe he's the enlightened one. Maybe we're holding ourselves back. Does he always wear the phone on his, like, I know it's part of his design and they won't change that, but I'm saying phone on his arm, it's just like back in the day where there's like the belt phones where it's like a cell phone pocket, and you put your phone in it. Is that like the new look for him? I also had someone in college that would do that. He had one of those. I'm like, dude, you put your phone in your pocket. They're thin. they're thin. They're not like the old school ones. It's fine. We arrive at Robert's house and ring the doorbell, but the doorbell doesn't chime. Must be broken. Craig knocks on the door a few times. Since when does Robert have a dog? I don't know. That's weird. I can hear Robert just inside. 1 second. This is uncharted territory, Ben. What if he's the one making barking noises and there is no dog? Don't say that. We're not even inside yet. Finally, the door opens. Robert looks a little surprised to see me. Ben, don't, whoa, my brain is... Ben, didn't know you'd be tagging along. But did Craig not tell Robert I was coming? Come on, Craig. I can leave if that's there. If I can leave, that's not. No, it's fine. Come on in. I enter Robert's living. Who's Robert's kid? Oh yeah, okay. We enter Robert's living room, which is surprisingly really nice. Super messy, but still nice. Make yourselves at home. I like the bug. I like the bug in the background and the behind Robert. That's cool. We can still hear barking from the other room. I didn't know you had a dog, Robert. Oh yeah, that's Betsy. Betsy, yeah, I guess. Have to put her up when guests come over. When guests are over. She's calmed down a bit. She calms down in a bit. What kind of dog is she? Pitbull. Rescued her from a dogfight ring a few years back. She hates strangers. If I let her out right now, I would probably have to take you both to the ER. Craig and I make eye contact. He raises an eyebrow at me. Oh, okay. Anyways, dinner should be ready in a minute. Hope you guys like... Also, Boko? I have no idea what that is. Robert leaves the room, presumably to go to the kitchen. Craig leans in and whispers, Was the dog fighting real, or was he kidding? I don't know. What's Boko? I don't know. Did he make up that word? Until I have Oso Boko in front of me. We can only assume so. We sit in silence for a second, talking in Robert's living room. Taking in. I was like, no, we're being silent. Taking in Robert's living room. Dude, we just watched Saw today, and like 2 days ago we watched it again. So we literally just watched that, like, and then the behind the scenes and the mini clip and all that. We got a DVD with all of it on it, from a secondhand store, and we just watched all of it. Anyways, are we about to get sawed? Nah, usually you wake up in those situations. We voluntarily walked into this one. Robert finally walks into the room carrying 3 paper plates of steaming food like a waiter. I don't Okay. I knocked this over. It's okay. Also, my back just got really itchy. I have really bad allergies today, which is why I go to get allergy shots. I know, crazy how it all comes back together. It's fine. It's fine. I don't have a dining table. Don't trust them. So we're eating here. Also, I don't have real people. I also don't have real people plates. Hope that's okay. Paper plates. At where I used to work, we were in like townhouses, kind of offices. Like each of us had like a little area, and each had a garage. And so we had our place, and then next to us was a car mechanic. And one day I'm sitting there and I hear the door open, so I'm like, oh, and I'm with my coworker. And I turn and I look down the stairs, and some stranger's walking up the stairs, and it's like, hey. And I look at them, and he looks at me, and I'm like, who the hell are you? And he's like, who the hell are you? And I'm like, this is where I work. Who are you? And I'm brand new here. And he goes, oh, I work next door. And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, I just needed to know if you had any like plastic plates. And I'm like, sure. And my coworker knows him, so they're chatting. And I'm just like, oh, we only have paper plates. But it was the funniest thing, because he's like, who are you? And I'm like, you can't walk into my place of work and ask me who I am. Who the hell are you? Anyways, Robert, yeah. Also, dining table. Listen, if you don't need it, you don't need an official table. You know, like, if like, I think his story is he lives by himself. I think his kid is grown up. So it's like, listen, if you don't need a table, you know, you don't need it. Robert sets plates in. I was gonna say plates. Robert sets plates in front of us on the coffee table. I still can't tell what. I still can't tell what is looks like what it is. God, heck. Oh. Okay. I still can't tell what it is. Looks like meat. Maybe. Lots of sauce. I can make out some vegetables. I think that might be rice, but it could also be pasta. Guess there's only one way to find out. I take a bite. Oh my god. I take another bite. The melody of flavors in the dish is amazing. The meat is so tender, and the risotto, I think that's what it is so creamy. Oh, I love risotto. Robert, this is really incredible. You cooked this? I fished out. Oh, okay. I fished out of the dumpster behind a restaurant, or at least I think it was a restaurant. Can you believe? Or yeah, who said nice? Him? I don't know. Can you believe people just throw this stuff away? I almost gag. I'm kidding. I look over at Greg, who looks wary, but still has a mouthful. He gives Roberts a thumbs up. Glad you like it. Where did you learn to cook like this? Worked at a restaurant in Spain for a hot sec. Is he messing with us? I decided to play along. You've lived in Spain? After I dropped out of college, I went backpacking through Europe. Crashed on couches, sleeping in hostels? Whatever. Totally broke. Worked a couple of odd jobs wherever I could to scrape together some cash. One night, I'm eating dinner at a little restaurant just outside of Madrid. I go to pay and realize I spent the last of my money on booze the night before. I'm in the middle of ditching when the manager catches me and puts me to work in the kitchen. Long story short, they ended up liking me so much they offered me a job. Why not, right? I started living with some distant relatives on my mom's side. Over the course of 2 years, I worked my way. I should be doing a deeper voice. Over the course of 2 years, I worked my way from busboy to sous chef. I learned a lot. Craig and I waited for the punchline. What night watch man did he swindle to get back to the States? Who did he con in a game of poker in the back room of a speakeasy for a safe passage in the crew quarters of a cargo ship? Anyways, I still love to cook. I don't know what's real anymore, but this food is so good, I kinda don't care. I don't know if I would. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. My brain. I'm so. I don't know if I would not understand when he's joking or not. Because, like, you cook this. It's like, well, yeah. The obvious answer is yeah. I invite you over to eat the food I cooked. The dog thing, I guess, is supposed to be oh, God. Ambiguous, but I would have been like, oh, yeah. That's fair. Around here, there's tons of pit bulls and shelters that, not that history, but in general, so I'm like, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he at least rescued her. Anyways, that's amazing. It really is. To be totally honest, I wasn't exactly expecting gourmet cooking here, especially not served on paper plates. I don't care about presentation. If the food is good, it should speak for itself. This UnsureBasil is screaming for itself. And paper plates are just as good as regular plates if you double them up. I guess. Yeah. I'm a fan of not using. Paper is fine, I guess, but throw away stuff. That's just me, but go off. Hey, is it bad if I ask for seconds? Help yourself, but save room for dessert. I made lemon berry serverin. Well, aren't you just full of... Craig looks over at me. Surprises? Robert winks. You bet I am. You can come over for dinner anytime. Craig. I'm going to go get seconds. Me too. After consuming way more UnsureBasil than my body can handle, and I guess, then really ensuring a later food coma with a generous serving of whatever serverin was. Serverin, I guess, was. Craig and I decided to head out. Thanks for coming. I'm making an attempt to be more sociable. Or I guess it just says social. Ooh. I attempt to be more social. I'm attempting to read. Well, yeah. Well, we're always happy to stop by if you want company. Yeah, he never invited us. Well, he never invited me. Especially if there's going to be UnsureBasil involved. Again, I wasn't invited. Okay. There we go. We're going to message. I don't remember his story. Maybe his first date. Is that the first date? Is in when you're in his house and you go for a walk? But I also don't want to think. I don't want to guess. Oh God, it is hot in here. Sorry, I just realized how hot it was. Damien seems really interesting. A little odd, but interesting. I think I should hang out with him to get to know him a little bit better. It says a little better. I navigate Damien's dad book page and type out a message. Hey dude, you seem cool. We should hang out sometime. I sit there for a moment before I see that Damien's typing. And then he keeps typing. He's going to use some funny little words, isn't he? And typing. Man, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some. It's me just typing and then deleting and typing and deleting, or I'll. I'm really bad at it where I start typing and people can see I know we're back and forth, and I'll type and I'll erase and type and erase and just try to get one word spelled correctly, and then I'll be like, okay, and I go over to the internet and I look it up. I'm like, okay, copy paste and put it, and then finish my message. So I'm typing for a few minutes and I just like a 2-sentence response, and I know what they must be thinking. I know it. Anyways, is this guy writing a novel? I leave the computer to make some coffee, and he's still typing. I sip my coffee and the computer finally dings. Whoa, there's more. Ben, I must confess my excitement to be receiving your kind letter. For, as you see, I do find myself available to enjoy your company. I must ask for your forgiveness, however, as I believe our first meeting did not paint me in as gentlemanly manner as I would have liked. I would be. Can I scroll up? No, fuck. I was holding the button. I'm like, if I let go, it's going to click, isn't it? Hey, Amanda, can you help me with something? Dad, for the last time, I'm not popping your back pimples. No, can you interpret this for me? I turn the computer to Amanda and she squints at Damien's message. I just don't understand NetSpeak. Like, is this how you kids communicate with each other? Or each other now? Oh, totally. This is the new thing, Dad. This is a new thing. See, Dad, kids are over saying LOL and LMAO or whatever, and decided that we're going to decided what they needed is to bring it back to the 1800s. So, what do I do? Where's your pen and quill? What? Did you forget to unpack the pen and quill? What? Why would it be a pen and quill? Paper quill's a pen? Am I wrong? How will we address the nobleman in regards to your upcoming I don't know where the space is in the word. Ball. Okay, now I know you're messing with me. Father, without a proper chaperone, you'll never end up with a suitor worthy of your land. Or your dowry? Or... So, you read Pride and Prejudice for school one time, and now you're reciting things you know about it back to me, aren't you? Like, the first 5 pages, and then I read a review of the movie. Still gotta be, though. That's fair. Listen. The best way to, if you're worried about that, is you can look up the differences between the movie and the book, and then in the review of the differences, you'll learn what's in the book, okay? Just saying. Great. So, didn't I say to tighten it up for the last couple months, though, Amanda? So, no more doing that, though. Great. So what do I say, Damien? I got this. Amanda reaches over me and types on the keyboard. I would highly be flattered. Stop typing. Stop. Be highly flattered of your companionship at my residence for an afternoon tea and a stroll around my garden, should it please you. Till then, adieu. Your humbled D. Bloodmarch. Should have had a cool name. Anyways, sure thing, dude. Regards, Ben. Amanda hits send and smiles at me. Well, I suppose that's that. This is just in the neighborhood and we didn't, like, mention it. Okay. I make the short walk over to Damien's house. Well, I guess you can't really call it a house. It's more of a manor, estate. The Gothic architecture looms over the other homes in the cul-de-sac. I walk past a couple of gargoyles guarding the front door and look around for a doorbell. There doesn't seem to be one. Gargoyles, I believe, are actually part of the water funneling. I think if they're statues, they're actually called something else. Could totally be wrong with that, though. But I believe that's true, so I think technically they're not gargoyles. But it doesn't matter. Words change anyways, you know what I'm saying? There doesn't seem to be one. I push the large, ornately carved bat's head. Is that what that is? I pull the large, ornately carved bat's head door knocker back, and a hollow sound echoes throughout the house as I strike it against the door. I wait several moments before the door slowly creaks open. It's a little creepy, but I enter the home and take a few steps into the foyer, noting the oil portraits of whom I assume are dead relatives hanging on the wall. Fun fact, I got what looks like, I guess it's not an actual physical oil painting, but what looks like oil paintings of my siblings' dogs for them, and I've been wanting to get it for my aunt, but I know my uncle wouldn't like it, but I kind of want to do it anyways, because I'm like, it would be funny though. Anyways, as I'm admiring them, the front door slams shut behind me. Hello? Silence. An oil lamp in the corner flickers dimly, casting ominous shadows against the wall. Why do I feel like all the people in these paintings are staring straight at me? Why is it so cold in here? I wish it was cold in here. Where's Damien? Ben, please. Is it too quiet for me? I turned it really far down. Oh, it's gonna be really loud later for me though. We'll see. Ben, pleasure to have you in my home. I look up and see Damien standing on the top of a majestic staircase with he spent so much money on the house, like a majestic staircase and the outside. But good for you. Standing on top of you know what? I'm going to give it to them. Giving the very extravagant character, having the trans character be that one is, I think, very fun. And I would be like, oh, because the problem is there's so little amount of trans men in media that usually they're just like, they're not too out there, and then there's like not too boring, and it's really fun to see a really extravagant like a character very extravagant, and then having be the very opposite, being the most boring trans man character I have ever seen, which was in the Golden Girls, and having him completely boring, like completely. He's a politician, he's completely boring, he's my favorite, and I watched that twice in a row, and I said it before, but he lives up here, okay? It's great. Anyways, I look up and see Damien standing at the top of a majestic staircase with a walking candle holder. God, something's going to burn down. What's with the door slamming shut? Oh, sorry. There was a draft. My, the door to my basement, if it's just a little bit open and not fully closed, it will close itself with a really audible bong. Like if we open the front door or we open the garage door, it will shut and it'll be really, and we're like, oh, what was that? And I'm just like, it's just the door. It just happens. Oh, there was a draft. And the door creaking open when I knocked. I accidentally left the door unlocked. And slightly open, I guess. And the creepy oil paintings. I like oil paintings. Right. Right. Please, let me show you around. Okay. Damien leads me around his house, showcasing his parlor, sitting room, auxiliary sitting room, the parlor again for some reason.
Oh.
This is one of the older homes in the block, yes, but nowhere near as old as the architecture might suggest. Through extensive renovations, I have been able to craft a residence that is both historically accurate to the Victorian period, and he would be so mad at me in real life. I'd be like, dude, I don't know what is Victorian period? What is this? What is any of it? Anyways, didn't you want something Edwardian though, not Victorian? Oh wait, no, it was opposite. No, so he does like Victorian. In the Victorian period, and equipped it with the amenities of any modern dwelling. We walked past the door, covered in bumper stickers, caution tape, and a black parade poster. Did they listen to My Chemical Romance in the Victorian era? That is my son's room. You know how the rebellious teenagers are. Onward, onward. There's more to see. We reach a door at the end of the hall that Damien opens with a flourish. And this is the library. I guess your kid's old enough that I'm like, where does your kid hang out? Just his room? I do like pinned bugs. Moths are cool. Butterflies are creepy looking in general. But other bugs, I love beetles. Personally, for me, I'm more of a beetle person, but you know. Sunlight streams in from the floor to ceiling arched windows. The walls are lined with packed bookshelves, and even more books are scattered over the period-appropriate furniture. Damien is clearly very proud of this room. As he should be. He has a cool little ladder that, like, he doesn't need that, but he has it. Well, he might. That's actually, there seems to be more up on top. Anyways, he should be. Look out the window, look at the butterflies, pick a book. That's enough of the tour. Dude, look at the butterflies. First thing I mentioned. Would looking at the window be a jerk move? Because, like, he's showing me this room, but, like, the view is part of the room, you know? Anyways, I walk over to the glass display of pinned bugs on the wall. It's pretty impressive. Nice bugs. Fancy. Because I have pinned bugs in my room. One I bought, it was a nice beetle, but others are cicadas and cicada shells, and they're all pinned by my sister, or by my sibling. So, yeah. It's just, yeah, pin stuff, love it. It's really interesting because you have to, like, do certain things to, because there's a moth that died in one of my, plants, and I let it sit there because I wanted to just let it be. It's dead. I didn't care enough. Like, it's fine. And it started very green, and now it's completely paled out. So it's weird that it doesn't happen. Like, I think there is, like, you have to do stuff with it. So very impressive. I pinned them all myself. Maybe I could show you how sometime. I would love to. I'm concerned that I could stick a pin right through I would stick a pin right through my finger. I guess they have to be pretty dang sharp. I was gonna be like, are they, but yeah. The Pinner's Gambit. Is that a thing? No. Look out the window, pick a book. I want to look at the... Oh, maybe they're all good choices. I was like, oh, maybe, like, one's a bad one. Oh, yeah, okay. I walk to the window, and I'm greeted with a beautiful view of Damien's backyard. It showcases a beautiful view of the rest of the cul-de-sac. Hey, I can see Craig in his lawn. He's doing push-ups with his daughters on his back. Damn. He sees me, I wave. Okay, at least he knows that we, like, can see him. He sees me and waves happily, doing push-ups with one hand now. Damn. Dude, we can't be looking at him. We're literally on a date with someone else. Did you know that Victorians spent at least 20 hours a week gazing longingly out of full-length windows? Wait, really? No, but Victorians did appreciate telling a joke. Pick a book. Yeah, okay, so they're all good choices. You know, Ben, in the Victorian era, there was more controversy surrounding reading. Many people thought that the most novels would encourage youths into a life of crime and would cause too much of a distraction from school, or from work. I guess, from work and school. I pull out a book at random and examine the worn cover. Yeah, I do. You know what? I do like a nice worn cover of a book. It really does show stuff. Like, I get a new book, and it's one of the really cheap ones. And it instantly just, the back is just right. I like when books are worn in. Like, even just the ones. Yes. Opening it, I turn to a random page and read out loud. I knew it was coming, but it still was so funny. Naruto struggling against the chain. I forgot what it was. I'm sorry. I'm an adult. Naruto is struggling against the chains that Sasuke had bound him with. Shirtless and out of breath, he looks up at Sasuke. Sasuke smirked, unbuttoning, I guess there are buttons. Unbuttoning his ninja pants. Oh, God. Okay, I think that's enough. Damien snaps the book shut and Damien snaps the book shut and puts it back onto the shelf. That's a rare book from my private collection. Please, will you join me for tea? I followed Damien to his sitting room, where finger foods had already been set out. Had been set out upon a beautiful tiered silver tray. I take a seat on one of the high back chairs as Damien pours and serves me some tea. I can't believe we're having high tea. I never thought I'd get to do this. Damien smiles to himself. What? It's a common misconception that high tea refers to the wealth or class of the people enjoying it, where in fact the high refers to both the later time of day, that the worker class had to enjoy tea and the height of the tables which they're served. Oh. My dear friend, you're currently enjoying afternoon tea. That's informative. Damien takes a seat next to me and serves me a tiny sandwich. Your home is really impressive. Are there a lot of goths? I like your cape. I would not have gone with cape, but maybe he likes that. Your home is very impressive. It seems like you really put a lot of work into this place. Thank you. No one ever no one? Really? They're not good friends. What do you mean never? Never, never? No one's ever complimented my home before. Hell, I can barely get matching salt and pepper shake. Fun fact, we ordered, because our salt container, we had like a thing of the salt that broke, so we're like, why don't we get a salt bowl for salt, obviously. So what we did is we got a salt bowl, but we're like, well, let's just get the one they had. So we ordered it on, to do like a pickup from a store. We bring it home, we get it out, and we bought the salt one, but they gave us a pepper one. So now our salt is in the bowl that is labeled pepper, and we don't have a matching pepper thing. It's just a salt bowl that has the word pepper on it. So obviously we kept it and we used it for a couple years now. And we're not planning to get a new one, but it's very funny. Anyways, I can barely get matching salt and pepper shakers in my place, and look at what you've done. I'm kind of jealous. That's very generous of you to say. What got you interested in goth stuff? Well, when I was a young boy, my father... Did he take you into the city? Sorry? Did you guys see a marching band? I'm afraid I don't understand. You're serious? Of course. But that's, the song. Amanda made me listen to it. You don't even listen to the band that your kid has a poster of on his door? Okay. Seriously? I'd love to see a marching band. Nevertheless, I love that the text bubble is just this big, and it's like, oh, he's going to chat. He's saying stuff. Nevertheless, I've always had a love for art, history, and fashion that started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermy animals. Yeah. I don't, taxidermy is not my thing, but fair. Started off as a small hobby of collecting taxidermy animals, grew into sort of an obsession. It's a privilege to be able to appreciate the lives and creatures, or culture, lives and culture of those who came before us, I think. Why not go all the way? I like not dying when I catch a cold. He takes a sip of tea. I can acknowledge that there were many very terrible things about the Victorian era, and to try to live a life that strictly aligns with those ideals would be admittedly horrid. You know what? That's odd. A lot of people do not take it as such. People will be like, oh, this, and like not recognize things of that. Yeah, I like that. You acknowledge, but you take the ideas that you want. But I think it takes a critical mind to truly appreciate something to the fullest, to be cognizant of its flaws and love it all the same. Tell me, Ben, do you have any hobbies? Oh man, I do, but I don't really know if I care about anything the way you care about this stuff. Well, I'd love to hear about your interests. Hearing someone talk about the things they are passionate about is intriguing, and quite honestly, rather attractive. Please, do tell me about your hobbies. Listen, you know me, I love a good rant, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes. Tell me about not just hobbies, but what you're into, Like, obviously he's very attractive, but just in general, like, hell yeah. Quick, sound sophisticated. I like watching soap making videos on the internet. Love me some word jumbles. I learned how to juggle once. Oh god, there's definitely a good option and bad options here. Personally, I do love word jumbles. Well, not word jumble. I like stuff. I like that kind of stuff. I don't really do soap making on videos, but I do watch people making stuff online. A good sewing, good projects. I never learned how to juggle, but I did learn how to sword swallow. So I'm gonna go. I think, well, would word jumbles be the worst? But he does have books. Would he like soap better? I think juggling is a bad one. I do like watch. I think I do watch. I would. This might be bad. That's not how you. I guess. I'm assuming that's like I watch soap making videos, and this is the next line. Soap is an important advancement in modern society, getting rid of germs and stuff. I would say that the people who make the soap are the true heroes here. To watch them work is an honor. I tried making some with Amanda once, and we both had to go to the doctor for rashes, which I guess goes to show that we should leave it to the professionals. We finish our tea and finger sandwiches. I don't think he liked my answer, but at least it wasn't a negative. Come, I have one more thing to show you. Damien takes me around the back of his home, where, God, this is your backyard. First of all, how big is your yard? Second of all, cool. Personally, I like a more nature look, mainly just because that's what we have in our place. More naturey look. Just like too trimmed is a little awkward. Can be. Anyways, Damien takes me around the back of his home, where a variety of flowers flourish in beautifully landscape rows. I guess that's kind of what I'm seeing. I wouldn't imagine this at all. And this small, that's not what I imagined this at all. I like the description better. A small stone path weaves through it, and butterflies flit, I guess, lazily through the air. My garden. It's beautiful. Thank you. Victorians took flowers and floral arrangements very seriously. You see, it was considered uncouth to discuss personal and romantic relations in public, so lovers and friends alike would use bouquets to send secret messages to each other. Each flower and plant is symbolic of different feelings. Is that? I know, like, there's, like, meaning between, but like, you really couldn't be uncouth if I discussed it, really? Even more interestingly is that one flower could mean different things depending on the other plants it was paired with. One had to be extremely careful, as even the style in which the ribbon was tied around the bouquet affected the message. Damien leans down and picked a gorgeous. Sorry, there was a plant the other day, and it was this tall, and it was beautiful. Took some pictures because it was near. It was like down the driveway, so I was like, oh hell yeah. But there's every time I'm driving, I was so mad. I came out of a doctor's office, and there's this beautiful wild blue plant, and I was like, oh my god. But it was next to a gas station, but the entrance was on the other side. But like, it was also like, oh, it was so gorgeous. And then the bunch of wild yellow flowers is so gorgeous. And I'm like, I want to take photos of them. I want to see them. It's very interesting because I dry flowers, so not like professionally, I just like it. So I'll like cut things and I'll dry them, but some will work better than others. Um, and obviously you do different things, blah blah blah. But what happened is there's some wild plants, like wildflowers. For some reason, I guess it's just how they are, will just instantly start. So like I cut dandelions, the white versions, not the puffy ones, the actual flowers, and I cut it and I hang them upside down. Like I carry them around after I pick them, upside down, because they will instantly start to shrivel up, and I don't think it really affects them because they shrivel all the same. But yeah, with there's a different wildflower, different tiny little white ones. I don't know what they are, and I cut them. And by the time I got in the house, they were just completely dry, like completely dried up. And I'm just like, okay, okay. Oh, but I have beautiful bushes. They dry, I think, arguably some of the best is if they have a bush and you cut them and you let them dry. Oh, gorgeous. Usually you hang them upside down, you dry them, and then they can flip back over. Oh, it's a gorgeous. But every time I get a bouquet, I try to dry them out, but some just, you can kind of tell which ones work better than others. But oh, it's amazing. It's good stuff. Anyways, flowers are gorgeous, okay? Like on my phone, it will just be plant photos and plant photos and plant. Am I Damien? Am I Damien? Am I like a watered down Damien? Is that what I am? Am I a watered down Damien? Damien leans down and plucks a gorgeous bright orange flower off of a vine. A vine flower. I don't know. Oh, I will look it up. Lilium bulbiferum. I usually go with the common names of plants. I always just go with common names. Lilium. I want to see what it looks like, okay? I don't think I'll be able to show it. They don't look like vine. It said off of... Did it say... Oh, it said off a vine. It doesn't look like they're vine. Lilies didn't sound like it. Oh. Let's see. Maybe that worked, maybe it didn't. Anyways. The orange lily. What do you think this one means? I don't want to go with that one. I'm probably going with thou art the tightest. That being said, I think that is the bad choice. I almost guarantee you the safe option, because this Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, it sounds like it's from about something. R shouldn't have been capitalized though. You see a 4 and 4. R I don't think should be capitalized. Makes me want to click it. It stands out. But anyways, lilies. I wonder. They're a little bit fleshier. I don't know how do you describe it. I wonder how they would if you just hang them upside down. Wow, they. I think this is the bad choice, but I'm going to click it. Oh, okay. Never mind. Don't doubt myself ever again. The orange lily is actually symbolic of pure hatred. Well. And that's precisely why floral arrangements are so challenging. What's your favorite type of flower? Ooh. Snapdragon. When I was little, we had a little snapdragon. And they like open. So you you gotta be really gentle with them. But I would always be scared, even though I'm really gentle, to overworking one. So I would change it. And I would just, down the line, I would just keep opening and closing snapdragons. I mean, unless it was a different snaps animal. I'm assuming they're snapdragons. Honeysuckles, I think they're very pretty, I believe. But I do know some places they are not indigenous. They're actually invasive species, and I think people try to get rid of them. I don't know where they originate. Sunflowers are also just dope as hell. But I gotta go with snapdragons or sunflowers. I got actually a shirt just the other day with Monet's sunflowers on it. But snapdragons, it's such a good memory for me. Like, just they were some of the first ones that made me fall in love with snapdragon, like with flowers. And I gotta go. Well, but sunflowers were up there too because we had beautiful sunflowers. They were as tall as I was. Oh God. Can you tell I like flowers a lot? Oh God. I remember one of my very vivid memories. I went to a field and we turned the corner and there were just blue. I said this before. There's blue tiny flowers everywhere, and they're just teeny tiny little wildflowers. And oh, they were gorgeous. They could grow in like clusters. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna go with snapdragons because they're cute, and you can do that thing where you squeeze them so they look like they're talking. What a lovely choice. Okay, not the best, but okay. I have to remember that when I get together a bouquet for you. He would put together a bouquet for me? No one's ever given me a bouquet before. I followed Damien down the footpath, admire more of his beautiful flowers. Suddenly, a phone rings. Oh, Ben, will you excuse me? I must take this. He pulls his cell phone out of his pocket. I'm a little surprised it's not a rotary phone. Go for it. Completely unrelated. I think it was God. What I remember one scene, and I think it was. It's just one of those things that we didn't really watch it very much, but I think it was an old, I believe it maybe old episode of Hannah Montana and Dolly Parton. It was, but she's wearing really tight clothes, so she pulls it out of her hair? Question mark? Like a cell phone? Was it her hair? It was very funny. Anyways, only thing I remember. Anyway, so Damien smiles and walks back to the house. I take a deep breath and enjoy the heavy perfumed air. What? Oh, I just went to the grocery store and I took pictures of all the plants. I just was circling it, taking all sorts of photos. I love doing that. I think I said that as well before. Anyways, what a lovely yard. This makes me wish I had put a little more effort into the garden. Into that garden Amanda and I tried to start one time. Our watermelons grew the size of cherry tomatoes and then immediately died. Dude, that's how it is. I can get it from nothing to like a teenager-ish year and then just nope. Just I don't know why. It's like a certain middle form that I can't. Not of just like fruit, just plants. So I only have old plants because of some reason there's always a middle form that I can't. And then immediately died. Oh hey, a gargoyle. Oh no, I knocked over the gargoyle. Yep. Oh. Okay. No. How do I flip it? How did I do that? Oh. How did I do that? Very careful. It's fine, I have plenty of time. Hey. That was like, I'm not gonna get good, but I did, ha! Phew, that was close. Oh no, here comes Damien. He looks upset. Oh god, that was loud in my ear. I knew it was going to happen because I turned it up, but oh boy. Ben, my sincerest apologies. I have to keep you waiting. There's an urgent matter that I must attend to, so I'm afraid I must take my leave. No problem, dude. Everything all right? Damien, or sorry, Damien worries. Damien worries the hem of his coat with his. I guess. Damien worries the hem of his coat with his fingers and looks away. Everything is perfectly fine, but it's Lucian. Lucian. What's wrong? I also love that I didn't get introduced to your guys' family. I skipped that part. I'm bad at things. He appears to have, well, his teacher needs me to come to the school post haste. Do you need help? Oh no, you don't have to. Let me come with you. Us dads gotta stick together. You're right. This is one of Lucian's more elaborate stunts, and I would greatly treasure having another parent by my side. Let's go.
Oh.
Damien and I walk into the school, and we are immediately greeted by an anxious-looking Hugo. I don't remember. Hey, Damien, you're here in a record time. I wouldn't miss it for the world, dear friend. Wow. Whatever it is, it doesn't seem like this is Hugo and Damien's first time to the my kids are in trouble. Oh wait, I assumed he was the teacher. I don't know. I thought he was still the teacher, but yeah. My kids are in trouble, rodeo. What is it this time? This, Damien, you have to see to believe. Damien and I follow into step, I guess. Damien and I fall into step behind Hugo, who leads us through a busy corridor of the school. We pass by several classes in session. Why then is the hallway busy? I guess at different time periods. Anyway, class periods. I vaguely wonder if Amanda's around. Hugo eventually ushers us into the small boiler room with a flight of rickety stairs leading down into darkness. Watch your step. We can hear faint voices drifting from the basement, and they don't sound happy. As I lead into the depths of the school, I recall the antics I got into as an angsty middle schooler. At least I had enough sense to stay out of the creepy basements. We find another teacher in the boiler room, tucked away in the back of the basement. With him are Lucian and Ernest, Hugo's son. Lucian has a bloody nose. Okay. I was like, got it. Thanks for coming. I can't make heads or tails of this. I look around the scene of the crime. And see a bunch of bricks and some masonry tools scattered around. What happened here? Ernest punched me. Lucian tried to kill me.
What?
The room falls silent. I wasn't trying to kill you, dumbass. I was just trying to build a brick wall. A brick wall around you and see what would happen. You promised me there was... I remember this, but God, it's still... Oh, God. You promised me there would be wine down here. You tricked me. Whoa. Wait a second. Lucian, did you try to... Cask? I guess it's cask, right? Cask of... Oh, God. I know it, but, like, I don't know if I actually ever said a miltilia dough? Ernest? I'm neither confirming nor denying that. I turn to Damien and whisper to him. What's the cast of Alatimia dough? How do you pronounce his name? It's a classic... It's a classic... It's just a classic to fucking understand. It's a classic Edgar Allan Poe short story where a man gets his enemy drunk and lures down into the cellar with a promise of wine of a fine vintage, then buries him alive inside of a brick wall. That's a lovely story. So wait, Lucian, you tried to do that to him? I was curious to see what it would, or what it, I wanted to see how it would turn out. I didn't actually want to leave him there. Gonna leave him there. What was your thought process here? That our nurse was just going to sit still while you slowly build a tomb around him? Well, it worked for like 20 minutes because he's an idiot, and then he realized that I that I lied about the wine. And you were cackling maniacally. That sort of tipped me off. Ernest, 20 minutes? Dad.
Sweet manchego.
It took you 20 minutes? Son, we just did an entire 2-week unit on the cast of, I don't know how to pronounce this, the name. It took you 20 minutes to realize Lucian was leading you into an elaborate ruse. Did you even read the story? I read the first 5 pages. Yeah, I read the first 5 pages, then read a review of the movie.
What?
It's... Did he say 5 pages? It's only 5 pages long, and there is no movie. Yeah, you're right. I paid Lucian to read it for me. Actually, he didn't even pay me, so when I think about it, this was me teaching him a lesson. If you think about it, it's me teaching him a lesson. Damien and Hugo both have their heads in their hands. You guys always telling me to engage in literature, and I did. I don't see a problem here. Alright, I'm filing this under what the hell. Don't do whatever that was again. You two are both suspended for a week. For a week? Sorry. Ernest and Lucian high five. The teacher starts to climb up the stairs. Hugo, I'll cover your class. Take your son home. Mr. Bloodmarch, you too. Thank you for your... God, my brain. Anyways. Thank you for your meditation. Is that the door we came down? Why is there such a tiny little clock? My school didn't have a basement. We all had, to be fair, it was one floor, so we all head up the stairs and out of the school in tense silence. Lucian and Damien and I all pile in my car and begin to drive home. Lucian immediately... Wait, what happened to... Oh, sorry, no, there's just the 3 of us. Okay. Lucian and Damien and I all pile into my car and begin to drive home. Lucian immediately puts his hood up and stares out the window angrily. I'm not going to therapy again. I know, son. That's entirely up to you whether or not you want to go. But I care about you, and I can see that you're struggling, so if you do decide that you would like to speak to a professional about your feelings, we can do that too. Maybe you can spend the next week looking for a summer job, huh? I know how much you want your own car. I can't believe Damien's keeping his cool. I'm impressed. What's on my face? Fine. Thanks for not freaking out too hard. I love you, son. Lucian continues staring out the window. Love you too. We spend the rest of the drive in relative silence. The moment we pull into the driveway, Lucian pops out of the car, slams the door, and runs inside. I didn't expect to have that conversation in front of you. He and I have a lot we need to work out. It's alright, but all the things considered, Lucien's bricklaying was pretty good, so there's a silver lining. There is that, yes. He's probably going to get through, or he's probably going through a phase. I really admire how you handle that. Really admire how you handle that. You were a lot more diplomatic with him than I would have been. I just want what's best for him, and I don't think yelling at him would do either of us any favors. It rarely does. You're a good dad. See you around soon. It would be my honor and my pleasure. Damien bows with a flourish. Classy. I come home to find Amanda curled up on the couch with a blanket watching TV. I plop down next to her. Yo. What you watching? Tiny House Hunting Brothers Extreme Edition. Ugh, I hate this show. Okay, it just popped on screen and left. The couple on screen bickers back and forth while standing in an extremely small house made out of recycled bottles. The Tiny House Hunting Brothers watch them with bemused expressions, both their heads touching the low ceiling. I told you I want a two bed, 2 bath, shabby chic cottage. This house doesn't even have a bathroom. But honey, the outhouse is only 20 yards away. It's not that bad. Because trying to find a cheap house, we've looked through a lot of houses. And one of the house didn't have plumbing inside, but they had an outhouse. But if you look at it, there was an outhouse, but there was 2 seats in the outhouse. So at least get yourself a dual-seated outhouse. I mean, come on, at least she deserves that. I am not moving outside, Greg. Why don't they just get a regular-sized house? I don't know. How'd afternoon tea go? It was strange. We had to go to the school to pick up Lucian since he tried to. He lured Ernest down to the cellar with the promise of fine vintage, and then tried to brick him into a wall, right? How did you know that? Has everyone read the story except for me? Yes. I didn't read it, to be fair, but I know it, but I just don't know how to pronounce it. Lucian live-streamed the entire thing. This entire day is beyond me. But otherwise, it was a fun day. That Damien guy is a character, but he's really good company, and surprisingly diplomatic dad. I dig his style. You know what? Me too. Listen, when someone has a strong style or strong aesthetic, it's fun. Anyways, if we get an A again, I'm screwed. S. No. I know the Lost Boys. How do you spell it? Corey Feldman. Who was he? Oh, he's that kid. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have got that name. He sounded familiar. I wouldn't have got that name. Corey Feldman. But yeah, love the Lost Boys. The kids, they were fine. Yeah, we watched behind the scenes for that too. People with Schumacher, People are like, oh, and you couldn't, like, he was gay. And I'm like, you watched that and you thought that was straight? You heard him in one of the interviews say vampires are oddly, like, sexual and, like, scary, but, like, you know, it's like, and you thought, yeah, this is straight? And you're like, really? 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 Growing on vegetables. I wish. Okay, we're going up. Okay, I'll click on what this says. Ben, listen. This is you from the past. Whoa, how'd this happen? I figure you're trying to reply to this because I know myself, but this is an automated message from you earlier this morning when it was socially unacceptable to go and buy ice cream. I forgot I did that. I forgot how I did that as well. Yeah, I don't remember this at all. I forgot how I did that as well. The future is amazing. Listen, life is short and ice cream should always be acceptable, but unfortunately this isn't the society we live in. And it's less the society we live in and more me protecting my own anxiety about being judged onto others, but you know what I mean. Also, yeah, don't care about that. I'm one of those like I social acceptability of like not hurting other people or like what people see of me, I do not care. Like, people give me weird looks because they still wear masks, and I'm like, I'm not gonna go screw yourself. I'm going to be wearing a mask. Or like, some people give me weird looks, or weird like things about like if I want to buy ice cream. Nah, screw you. I try to buy dead of winter. I ask for a like icy blended ice drink, and they're like, we don't do those during winter, and I just went, oh. The sign is still up though, but I'm like, oh. I apologized. I was like, oh, my bad. She was a very sweet employee because single thing I tried to order for everyone else was out of stock. I'm like, can I get a coffee but with milk? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh. She's like, we don't have milk. I'm like, oh, can I get something else? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. I was like, can I get this? No. I'm like, okay. Just like 4 times, just being like, we don't have it, it's not there, it's not on sale, like it's not for sale, and I'm like, we're likely run out personally, and I'm like, okay. So I just bought like a black coffee and like a pastry for someone else, and I'm like, I didn't even get anything out of it. I'm just like, okay. Anyway, she was very sweet. She laughed at it too, because she saw I was taking it very well. Never lash out at the drive-through people, you know what I'm saying? Never lash out at the workers. Anyways. Well, you know what I mean. By the time you're reading this, it is a certain time of day in which nobody will bat an eye if you are going out and buying ice cream. You know what to do. Be good. Be good for, can I save? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna save here then. You know what to do. Be good. Me. Yeah, I'm gonna save again because I saved like 4 times in a row. And then I'm gonna leave. Because it's really early/late. Ow. Yeah, I need to do stuff. Yeah. I need to get stuff done. I can't keep playing. I was highly debating it for just 2 seconds there, but I gotta go. I'm leaving. Also, I guess that means we should go with Damien, right? Because like we got an S rank, I didn't choose before him, I choose for myself. You know, I wonder if I should do all of them once. And since Damien's like, we got A rank, we got A, and then we got an S rank, if I should go and do all of them and see what they all say. I don't know. I don't know how long I wanted to play this for, you know? Anyways, I guess I gotta figure that out myself. Only I can tell. It is hot in this room. I'm leaving now.